All right, good evening. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3Team Pest Trade Academy. I hope this is clear enough and I'm not having some darkness around. We'll continue from our conversation on the what, the why, and the how of export to Nigeria. The what, the why, and the how of export to Nigeria. This program started yesterday, just a new conversation around the what, the why, and the how of export to Nigeria. What is interesting about this? What is interesting about this is the fact that in Nigeria today, there are huge opportunities for trade, but unfortunately, those enjoying those opportunities are foreigners. Those enjoying those opportunities are foreigners. So the opportunities are enjoyed by foreigners because foreigners are the ones that are able to see the opportunity that are embedded in Nigeria. Now, how are they able to see this opportunity? They are able to see this opportunity simply because they are the ones that have been able to, okay, I think I'm better now. I'm trying to get some lighting. Because they are the ones that have been able to ensure that at the end of the day, they are able to do the importation. Like I said, that CBN report shows that a CBN official was talking at an event and he talked about the fact that in Nigeria, 60% of importers are foreigners and 60% of exporters are foreigners. And that's very instructive. That's very instructive. That means that the major traders in Nigeria are foreigners, both on the import and export side. And typically, foreigners in Nigeria, especially the Asians, are on both sides of the divide. And I can understand why they're on both sides. They understood. They are serious traders. They have a good understanding of this business. And for one reason or the other, Nigeria have not really have a good understanding of how the business works. So at the end of the day, you have a station in which we are not able to take advantage of the opportunity on the continent. We are not taking advantage of the opportunity on the continent because of knowledge gap, inadequate understanding of the opportunity and potential that we have in our country. So I can relate with that. I can relate with that seriously, and I can understand why. But what we are trying to do through this broadcast, basically, is to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, at least a reasonable number of Nigerians are aware of the opportunity in their country. Sorry, I'm actually driving. I'm trying to ensure that I have a good lightning, but it's like I'm not able to get it right. Okay? So it's very unfortunate, really. It's very unfortunate that foreigners are the one enjoying the benefit. They are the one enjoying the benefit because they are the one that are able to see the opportunities that are available in Nigeria. They are the one able to see the opportunity in Nigeria. They are the only one that are able to see because they have the knowledge. They have the knowledge. So the knowledge they have gives them an advantage over us. So, but this program is designed to be able to ensure that foreigners that want to come into Nigeria have a good understanding of the market, but more importantly, the Nigerians also have a good understanding of the market, because inadequate understanding of the market really is what has brought us to where we are right now. It's what has brought us to where we are right now. But I believe strongly that the message, you have a lot of message out there on what people can do to be able to bring stuff into Nigeria become easier. What we should also be doing is to import responsibly, because you should not be importing to Nigeria to kill businesses. Like in the morning, when I was talking in the morning, I talked about the fact that I talked about the opportunity available for import into Nigeria. Huge opportunity available for import into Nigeria. And I remember I talked about chemicals. I talked about pharmaceuticals. I talked about, let me check again. After I've discussed about the GDP, I talked about chemical pharmaceuticals, I talked about agriculture. So, and I talked about the fact that, and I was using the trend in the, of the sectors that contribute a lot to the GDP. Trend of the sector that contribute a lot to the GDP. That was my focus in the morning. I've not finished those sectors, so I'm going to continue on that tangent this evening. And I'm still discussing the same thing. I'm basically focusing on the fact that on the what we can import into Nigeria, why you should consider exporting to Nigeria, and more importantly, how. You know, how is a very big one. How is a very big one. How is a very big one. There are a lot of technical requirements, detail and information required for me to export to Nigeria. So the how is a very big one. So it's not enough for you to say, oh, okay, I have product I want to export, you know, and the space in Nigeria is so volatile. Let me give an example. Just today alone, just this week alone, rather, between in the last 2 weeks, we've had different discussion and talk around importing to Nigeria. The president made a pronouncement that became a major problem in the country. CBN before then also already made a pronouncement on milk import. Then the president said the CBN should not give any forex to food item. And I actually went to check up and I discovered that currently, yes, the import is practically banned of food. Currently. Why? All the data available already show that now. All the data available already show that the import is banned. Now, CBN is not banning it, but CBN is using its powers to control the import into Nigeria. So someone was talking to me, he wanted to import into Nigeria canned food. And I said, look, I would not recommend you import it. And I was telling him the reason why. And it seems to be bent on importing it. Number one, the item will be non-valid for forex. Number one. In Nigeria, non-valid for forex means government will not give you foreign exchange. In Nigeria, non-valid for forex means government will not give you foreign exchange. Now, the implication of that is you might not be able to get foreign exchange to pay your buyer. You might not be able to get enough foreign exchange to pay your buyers. That is the challenge we face. That is the challenge you face. That's the challenge for us right now. To be able to pay your buyers, you might not be able to get enough forex to pay your buyers. And the reason is simple. The reason is basically because at the end of the day, you found out that the buyers are having the government is having concern with this product, and they are making it very difficult for people to be able to. And the reason is simple. Government wants us to consume what we produce and produce what we consume, to avoid or rather reduce as much as possible unnecessary import into Nigeria. So let's understand the position of the government, what the government is trying to do. To basically minimize unnecessary import into Nigeria. That's what the government is trying to do. Now, the implication of that is that for you as an importer, you will need to go and source your forex. That's not the only issue. CBN will need to approve your Form M, which is the application form for import. And what CBN does is they ration the people they approve it for. They don't approve for everybody. They don't approve on time, rather. Some people have complained 2, 3, 4 months is still waiting. CBN is basically using its power to restrict the import because they don't have the power to stop the import of the item into Nigeria. But they have the power to say you cannot use our forex since we control the monetary policy to import this item into Nigeria. Now, let me leave CBN and let's continue from where we stop in the morning. Remember, we are discussing the what, the why, and the how of export to Nigeria. The what, the why, and the how of export to Nigeria. Now, in the morning, I was talking about the GDP. And I was talking about the fact that the GDP in Nigeria right now, as our first quarter, shows the contribution of different sectors. I mentioned agric, growing. The sector I discuss in this program is basically the sector that are growing. So I didn't bother myself on the sector that are not growing. And the reason is simple. Why should I bother myself on the sector? Why should I bother myself on the sector that are not growing? I should be interested in sectors that are growing so that if anybody wants to import, like I said in the morning, you should be looking for where do we have the large meat? Where do we have the large meat? Where is it that is growing such that if you import, you know that you won't be wasting your money importing into the sector. That's the reason why, that's basically the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And this evening I'll be talking about some other new sector that I didn't mention in the morning. So let me look at it. Number one, plastic and rubber product. Plastic and rubber product. Plastic grew from 0.4% last year, quarter one. By quarter two report, it grew by 1.28%. By quarter three, it grew by 0.395. That's a decline. By quarter four, it grew by 3.4. By quarter one of this year, it grew by 4.6. So what I can see here is there is a steady increase in the importation of plastic and rubber products. There is a steady increase in the importation of plastic and rubber products. So if you want to import into Nigeria, later on I'll be talking about major item of import into Nigeria, the percentage contribution of each of these products in each sector, so that we can have a sense of the volume we are talking about here. But currently, I'm just looking at the contribution to GDP and the growth. So the question you should ask is, what is fueling the growth? I know for a fact that Nigeria is increasing, seriously increasing, currently increasing in the degree of value addition to products being brought into Nigeria. Now, the implication of that is this. Because it is increasing, more and more people are beginning to learn about packaging. So one of the contributing factors that I'm very much aware, and you can see that this is still linked to agri processing and packaging, is the fact that people are waking up to the reality of value addition. People are waking up to the reality of packaging products. As a result of waking up to this reality, more people are importing plastic and rubber products into the country. Nowadays, you will notice something. One of the things you notice nowadays is that you notice that a number of Nigerian businesses now add value, add serious value in terms of packaging to their product. That was not there before. When you see products in Nigeria before, sometimes it can even be very discouraging because our products are not traders. Our products are not as value added as it should be before now. But now there is a lot of increase and awareness on the need to do this. There is a lot of increase and awareness on the need to do this. And that's instructive. That's instructive because what it has done for us is to make it possible for people to begin to see the need to add value. See the need to add value. See the need to add value. Value addition become extremely, extremely critical. In fact, it's so bad now that if you have a product and it's not well packaged, no serious value addition, you know what happens? Very few people will buy from you. People will look away because the minuter, the small product people are packaging. And do you know what? it also makes it easier to price very well. So here is what people do. They import plastic, blank, packaging material, typically stand-up pouch, resealable stand-up pouch from China. Typically resealable stand-up pouch from China. So when it gets to Nigeria, they will print their labeling and put it on it. So it's not entirely the way it should be, but you know what? It's closer to what it should be. It is very close to what it should be. It's not entirely what it should be, but it's very, very close to what it should be. Very, very close. Very, very close. Very, very close. Very, very close in the sense that it's well preserved. The quality is better. It's preserving the product. It's more attractive. It's therefore more marketable. It's more attractive and therefore more marketable. Remember, we're discussing the what, the why, and the how of exporting to Nigeria. A lot of foreigners need this because out of every 4 or 5 blacks, there is one that is in Nigeria. So Nigeria is a lot. It's a big market that everybody wants to enter. So what I'm doing is to make foreigners who have value-added product for Nigeria, not the people that will be sending to us the things we don't need, but value product that will add value to our economy. I'm giving them information on what they can do to ensure that at the end of the day, they are able to. At the end of the day, they are able to successfully export to Nigeria. And then adding value to individuals who also want to, they are in Nigeria currently, and they want to import into Nigeria. So both ways, we are fine. I'm talking to both parties, those people, both ways, you're fine. All right, let me look at another one. Another product that is growing is motor vehicle assembly. Motor vehicle assembly. Motor vehicle assembly. Motor vehicle assembly was 2.29% last year, first quarter. It declined by 2.88%. Second quarter. By third quarter, it declined by 4.02%. But from between quarter 4 last year and quarter 1 this year, it grew by more than 5%. In fact, it grew by, what am I saying more than 5%? It grew by almost 15%. Almost 15%. Almost 15%. That is a lot. That is a lot. So that is basically saying that you need to consider bringing items to Nigeria that involve, motor vehicle, spare parts, and the like. Motor vehicle, spare part, and the like. Those are the things you want to consider bringing into Nigeria. Motor vehicle, spare part, and the like. Those are the things you want to consider bringing into Nigeria. Motor vehicle, spare part, and the like. And there have been a lot of talk around this, actually. There have been a lot of talk around this. There have been a lot of talk around the fact that we need assembly plant in Nigeria. And a lot of people are leading the way in that direction. A lot of companies are leading the way in that direction. So there is a need for that in Nigeria. One of the most imported items in Nigeria is actually motor vehicles. Apart from petroleum product, another most important item in Nigeria is motor vehicles. So motor vehicle is a very big one in Nigeria. Very, very big one in Nigeria. Very, very, very big one in Nigeria. Motor vehicle is a very, very big one in Nigeria. So motor vehicle, spare parts, assembly plant. And there has been a major increase in that sector. A major increase in that sector. A major increase in that sector. I will round off with this one. I will round up with this one. It's on accommodation and food services. Accommodation and food services. Accommodation and food services. Accommodation and food services is another sector that is growing. Accommodation and food services is another sector that is growing in Nigeria. It grew from 0.29. It grew by quarter 1 to quarter 2 last year. It grew by 2.43%. Quarter 2 to quarter 3, 2.66%. Quarter 3 to quarter 4, it declined. It grew by 2.05%, so decline. But quarter 4 to first quarter of this year, it grew by 4.15%. 4.415%. That is a lot. That is huge. That is a lot, and that is huge. That is a lot, and that is huge. So that means that sector also is getting attention. So if the item you want to bring into Nigeria is commonly used in hotels, both in food and hospitality, maybe you have a chance in Nigeria. If it's commonly used in hotel, maybe you have a chance in Nigeria. Maybe you have a chance in Nigeria. Maybe you have a chance in Nigeria. I'm in a dark place and my lighting is not good enough. So I'll be closing early today. Typically, I spend about 30 minutes, but I'll be spending 20 minutes this evening. So I'll be closing right now. Remember, this is the what, the why, and the how to export to Nigeria. And today is part 3. Tomorrow, I'll be looking at part 4. And I'll be still talking about sectors that are growing. And when I finish sectors that are growing, I'll be discussing some other important and vital area. And I'll be talking about what does Nigeria import? What does Nigeria import? When I finish discussing what does Nigeria import, I will talk about the trade environment in Nigeria. If you're bringing goods into Nigeria, what are the regulatory environment? Who are the people you're likely going to interact with? Then I'll be talking about the import process, the forms involved for import and the import process. Then I will talk about clearing process in Nigeria. Clearing process in Nigeria. Then I'll talk about import prohibition. Import prohibition. Import prohibition. Then I'll talk about documentation. Import documentation. Import documentation. Then I'll talk about pre and post import documentation. Then I'll go to import, the import guideline. The import guideline. Then I'll go to the import guideline for general import guideline. Then I'll go to guideline for food, for drug, for cosmetics. Food, drug, and cosmetics. When I finish on that, then I will go to entering into Nigerian market, analyzing the Nigerian market, and entering into the Nigerian market. And I'll be profiling some market entry option and strategy. Export market entry option and strategy into Nigeria. Then I'll be talking about some of the challenges. Some of the challenges and how to mitigate those challenges. And then I'll talk about payment method. Payment method and shipping document for import into Nigeria before I round off. That might take me about a month. I'm hoping that it's going to be a lovely and interesting and fantastic journey. Hoping you will catch up with me every day, Monday to Friday, morning and evening, and Saturday and Sunday also. Once in the evening on Saturday and once in the evening on Sunday. Thank you very much for listening. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.